顺着阿拉斯加高速路，我终于快开完加拿大的路段，到达加美边境。随着我的坐标越来越北，日光时间也随之被拉得越来越长。夏季的玉空常常20小时的白昼，光明一片，让人感受不到时间的流逝，区分不了是傍晚还是清晨。我常常开到很晚，但因为道路依旧清晰可见，又觉得好像可以继续开下去。就这样昼昼不停，日以继日，每天短则开3到4个小时，长则开5到6个小时。终于长时间的坐姿，不自觉的弓腰，超车和被超车的紧张感，都给我的腰椎和颈椎带来了不小的压力。1个多星期下来，我从一开始的一天可以轻松开6个小时，到现在坐在车里半小时都觉得漫长无比，怎么调坐姿都觉得腰部不适。好在阿拉斯加路上处处好风景，随意一停，窗前都有意想不到的绝妙景色，所以在经过这片湖时，我决定在这里小憩几天。
我来看一下有没有地儿停。我已经开得太累了，连续几天都一直在开长途。我的邻居一对夫妻，大房车一个贝陀。这里又有熊爪，好像。我准备在这里休息2天了，不要太赶路。这几天开长途太累了，我感觉我的腰好痛，所以我准备在这边至少要休息2天再走。现在是晚上11点19分，这里居然还有彩霞。哇，烟雨朦胧。昨晚上下了一晚上的雨，听着雨声睡觉特别舒服。雨停了，然后今天是大风天。这个湖水被吹得像海水一样，波涛汹涌的。昨天来的时候是风平浪静，湖水中都可以倒映出这个山和云的倒影。现在就完全不一样的景象了，特别妙。这个册子是我在加拿大的一个 visitor center 拿的，它就是向加拿大人民介绍 Alaska， 因为 Alaska 是属于美国了嘛。然后它上面有很多非常详细的信息，像第一页就是说，美金和加拿大币的转换， 然后1升等于多少加仑？因为加拿大人是使用公制，然后到了美国又是使用他们自己的一些符号。当地的阿拉斯加的这些地名是怎样念的，和一些基本的天气信息。然后还有当地阿拉斯加的地图，然后以及什么时候钓鱼，钓鱼需要多少钱，然后阿拉斯加是怎么样分界的，都标得很清楚。我觉得沿路去拜访游客中心会得到很多有用的信息。哦，还有这个也是很有用的，这个也是在游客中心拿的。哦，这本书它相当于是每一个节点的给你介绍当地的信息。它这个书就真的是如它所说是 mile by mile guide， 当地的人口、时间、天气情况，以及你会在这段路程当中遇到的一些可以补给的地方。哎呦，让我来看一看。我现在是在这个 Junction 和 Beaver Creek 之间，我下一步就准备到 Talk 去了。这里就是要越过美加边境，然后他就会向你介绍你下一个补给站，给你当地的这个小镇的地图，然后你会知道这里有什么东西，比如说这里有住宿的地方，这里有超市，这里有医院，然后具体的他们的电话和地址。就是这本书非常非常的有用。
当我2个月后从阿拉斯加返程，路上抛锚，在毫无信号的情况下，手机地图上查询不到任何具体的信息。多亏了有这本书，我才能知道哪里有维修点，哪里有警察局，我才能判断到底是应该继续向前走，还是向后退。如果你也要走上这地处荒野的阿拉斯加路，这本路书请一定要带上，以备不时之需。
它就叫阿拉斯加和阿拉斯加 Highway。我来揉个面团，然后在大风天吃一个热乎乎的甜甜圈吧。温水，1杯面粉，放点肉桂。边等边做下视频，我才跟到 Yosemite， 这也太慢了。我人都快穿越完加拿大到阿拉斯加了，现在才跟到加州附近。如果要跟到我现在所在的位置的话，还有10几集，抓紧跟一跟。咯哒！敬你 Yosemite， 因为我自己的视频看着好饿呀。好了，保存。这样就光滑很多了，这样就可以做4个甜甜圈了。慢慢发酵吧。已经发酵好了，外面大风在嚎啊！淋上巧克力酱，加点芝麻，今天是咖啡甜甜圈当早餐。我觉得好有嚼劲啊！我应该加点淀粉的，这个太有嚼劲了。大家其实不用担心在车里做这种油炸食物，因为就是风太大，就把车门稍微一开，这油烟就出去了。像这个湖面跟海面一样。 要开始开长途了，今天。现在早上多少？早上9点钟。我做饭是因为今天要穿越美加边境，所以就进入阿拉斯加了。跨边境之前需要把车内的肉类、新鲜蔬菜还有开封的奶制品都给消耗光，所以我现在得开始做饭。
大家不要听我在这里胡说八道。陆地入境虽然有些食品也是要申报的，可是相比于飞机入境，陆入非常的宽松。不仅蔬菜水果入境完全没有问题，有的时候甚至不会查车，更有的时候甚至都不会问你带了什么食品。一旦入境阿拉斯加，在到达大城之前，食品价格会翻好几番。各位千万不要在入境阿拉斯加前清空你的冰箱，不然就会像我一样在 Talk 吃果冻。
最后一餐。好吃的这样。护腰带上，开长途真的会腰痛，给了你腰部的力量。拜拜，露营地，谢谢收留了我几天。前2天腰真的太痛了。再见，我要去阿拉斯加了。 Nope, I'm a visitor. Under visitor's visa.
And how long will you be in Alaska?
2 months.
For 2 months? You're saying for 2 months, but the latest you can actually be here is going to be September 9th.
Oh, really? Why is that?
So the reason for that is because your admission coming into the U.S., you've already spent, you came in March, correct?
Oh, but I came through Canada. I thought that will recount.
How long were you in Canada for?
2 weeks.
Just the 2 weeks?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so coming back in here, just you're like, I'm not going to give you, give me a second. Make sure I'm giving you the right information. I went in there and I talked to my senior ranking officer. So here's what we're looking at. For your status that's on here, you've got your initial 6 months. Going through Canada, that's not what they call a meaningful departure as far as leaving the U.S. If you leave, you end up going back to, say, China, and you're there for a couple months, and then you end up coming back here again. That is what we consider a meaningful departure. And then what we can do is we can give you another 6 months on your visa.
So I have to go back to China for how long?
They say we're looking for a meaningful departure, but just going through into Canada, that's not necessarily considered a meaningful departure.
So
go ahead.
as long as I go back to China, that's considered.
That is definitely considered a meaningful departure. So there's no way that I can see anybody not considering that a meaningful departure, because you're literally going back to your...
The thing I'm concerned is my trip plan is go to the South America. After the Alaska, come back to Canada and then go to...
I see what you're saying. Yes. So, okay, I see what you're saying. Fuck. Okay. That's a good... I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to...
It's okay.
I'll tell you what. I can't re-up your time. I cannot do that because you still have time on your visa right now and you have a lot of time. So what I would recommend is when you're done here and you're driving back down through Canada, you're going to be dealing with a completely different officer. They may not ask you any questions. They may go ahead and just see you come through and just say, hey, you're good to go. Explain what it is you're doing. They may ask for your channel. They may ask to see how you financially pay for your stuff, so on and so forth. They're going to want to make sure you don't live in the United States. That's the main thing they're going to want to look at.
Okay.
So what I recommend is this. Your time is going to be until September 9th. That's the latest you can be here. After that, if you're leaving and going into Canada, wait until that time expires. Once that time expires, make your entry back into the lower 48, into the U.S. At that point in time, if you have that, they may consider that a different departure. You can come back into the lower 48. Seek a commission again on your visa. Okay, you have EVIS, you have your stuff in there, everything is good to go. Explain what it is you are doing for work. They may even want to look up your channel and find out, make sure you're not, lying to them. And then explain your next trip is going down to South America and go from there. But I'm gonna have you go through. I can't give you any more time. I'm just gonna have you on September.
Sure.
Okay, but I'm trying to do my best, the best that I can to try and assist you in accomplishing your objectives and your goals.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So the reason you cannot give me more time is because you saw I still have a lot of days on my current visa, and after it expired, they may reconsider.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, but we have to see that expiration first.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, thank you.
Okay, absolutely. So, as we're good, just so you know, September 9th
September
is the
9th.
last day that we have here.
Okay.
Okay?
September
All
9th.
right, there you go. Good luck. Be safe.
Okay, thank you. 啥也没检查就走了这次。